Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. Today we're doing a war game around the Falklands conflict in 1982, a what if scenario. We've already looked at this several times. In fact, I typed Falklands into the GR search bar and it came up with 29. We've done 29 what ifs, or either straight reenactments or what if this happened in the Falklands. So we are really into the Falklands. But all of them have been focused on after the Argentinians had invaded. They invaded on the 2nd of April, I believe, and the conflict happened several weeks after that as the diplomacy failed. Today, we're going to ask, what if the initial Argentinian invasion could have been prevented? The threat of an Argentinian invasion was not taken very seriously. All we had to defend 2 islands and nearly 2,000 people was 40 Marines. Obviously, the Argentinians landed pretty much unopposed and took the islands. We're going to run an alternative history. We're going to say, what if the Argentinian threat was taken seriously and the British moved a squadron of F-4 FG.1 Phantoms to Port Stanley with some other defences? Could that have stopped the Argentinians even getting a foothold? So, first, the blue side, UK, have EWR stations here and here. Each is protected by pretty poor defence, 3 Bofors 40mm guns. At Port Stanley, which of course would have been the main base, Mount Pleasant wasn't even a base at that point, so it was Port Stanley. We've got 43 Squadron at the time, 18 Phantom FG.1s. Those Phantoms had their maximum loadout of, sorry about the liveries, some of the liveries will not be correct today, we just haven't managed to get everything sorted. 4 AIM-9 L Sidewinders. We did have 9 Ls at the time, even before the main conflict, and they were, of course, prioritised to the Phantoms. Also, 4 Skyflash missiles. We don't have Skyflash, we have AIM-7F, but as far as I can see, in terms of performance, they're actually very similar. We have a gun pod and a couple of fuel tanks. They are AI, and all AI today are set to maximum skill level. They'll take off when they detect hostiles and defend the islands. Also, defending the base are 4 Bofors batteries as well as a full battery of Rapiers, which we did have at the time. And finally, we will have humans as well because we like to have our humans. Respawning down here will be Phantom pilots with the same loadouts. Now, the Argentinian attack, obviously they would know that 43 Squadron was here, so instead of dribbling in small attacks, they are launching one giant attack, which has taken a long time for them to organise, but they've done it, and they're going to try and overwhelm 43 Squadron. First, the naval fleet is here, and this is what is going to be carrying the troops. So we had to do some research, and my friend Liam sent us this. Several pages of extract from the Aviation Historian. It talks about exactly what Argentina had in early April and May 1982 for the attacks. As we can see, the different bases here, which aircraft were available to fight at the time, as well as that, which bases, and this is amazing, had which missiles, which variant of the missiles, and how many bombs available. So all research has been done by this today. And as a quick overview, in case you can't read it, Mirage 3s, 15, Daggers, Mirage 5s, 10, A4Bs, 22, A4C, 9, Pucará, not relevant today, Canberra bombers, 8. With that in mind, the front offence is 15 Mirage 3 EAs, and we have pretty much the correct aircraft here in the correct livery. The armament I've based on what we said in that document. So each is carrying 3 Magic 1s and 1 R530. Why only 1? Well, because they only had a few to go around the whole squadron and a fuel tank. 3 of the 15 are designated as escort for the bombers. Speaking of bombers, we have 8 Canberras here. They're played by H6s because it's the closest we've got, but in terms of performance, it's not going to be that different. Obviously, we've limited their payload based on the Canberra. They are going to bomb the base at Port Stanley. They want to take the runway out because in this alternate scenario, they've got to stop the British from operating from that base. Funny thing was, in the real conflict, it was actually the British that bombed that runway with their Vulcans. Next, the Daggers, Israeli Mirage 5s. 10 of them today. They are going to be played by Mirage 3s because today that is close enough for what we need. Now, I looked at what they carried in the real conflict, and a lot of times I saw them with 1,000-pound bombs. So each has 2 1,000-pound bombs. I've put them in a different livery from the Mirage 3 so you can tell that these are representing the daggers. They have one job today, which is to take out the early warning radar stations here, and any other targets of opportunity. Next is the 29 A4 Bs and Cs, and I've just realised that I've done my maths wrong. That's actually 31, so I will go and change that, don't worry. 31 of them. They are trailing along behind, and I've decided to put them in an air-to-air configuration because we've already got plenty of bombers operating, so these are the bulk of the assault. We had to do some research again. We found that at the time the Argentinians were using AIM-9B. They did get better missiles, but not until later in May. I've got it written down here somewhere. So AIM-9Bs it is, and fuel tanks. As well as that, we're going to have humans, just 2 humans a day, operating in either a Mirage 3 with the same loadout or an A4 with that loadout, guys. So we need to make a prediction. Let me just edit this. We've got a huge attack of 64 aircraft starting at 200 miles. Could the UK 43 Squadron of 18 F-4 FG.1s defend it? Predictions and why?
I think this is going to be difficult for the British because the weapon systems at the time were okay, but they weren't like modern systems. So the shortcomings of the weapon systems are going to be critical here.
I think there's only 30 some odd aircraft they really have to worry about. I don't think the A4s are going to do much good, especially with those missiles. So it's basically 18 against 33. I think chances might be a little bit better.
You can't completely discount them because if you just shrug them off and they get behind you, they will be a problem. So
Don't they have to get right behind you?
It's a numbers game, and there's a lot coming in from one side, and they're going to be able to surround the battlefield.
Roger. I'm just going to reiterate what those guys are saying there, viewers. So what they're saying is that we had better missiles in Britain, which is absolutely the truth. Our Sidewinders, for instance, the Lima model was pretty much the best in the world at the moment that we were buying from America. It's an all-aspect missile. We can fire it at a hostile from the front or behind. That was the state of the art in 1982. Whereas the Argentinians didn't have that tech. They had, if I can find it, Bravos, really old Sidewinders from the 50s and 60s, which can only be fired from behind a hostile. You had to get behind them. It also had pretty crappy rocket motors. Slightly better was the French Matra Magic 1, but I think that was actually still a rear aspect. In fact, I know it was a rear aspect missile. So it was just worse technology than the British had, which is historically accurate. Carry on, guys.
Well, I also see it as just a 2 against 1, even if you have better missiles. Basically what Tim said, actually.
What altitude are the aggressors coming in at?
Well, I'm putting them at various altitudes, but the average is going to be about 26,000.
That confers an advantage on the defenders because the look-down capability wasn't so good in those days. If they're at high altitude, yeah, it should be a big factor, and I think that makes it a lot easier for the British.
Fair point. Welcome in, viewers. Pilots today. British Matrix, Strider Dark in Phantoms, Simba, Push, Argentinian, A4, B/C. 3, 2, 1... Go, guys. Right, let's have a look. First, why are the humans starting at Mount Pleasant when Mount Pleasant didn't exist yet? It's because I can't get them to share a base with the AI, so it's just safest I do this. It's not going to make a huge amount of difference. Again, sorry about the liveries, viewers. We put at least one video out every single day for you humanoids, and it means sometimes we just don't get time to get everything right. So we have to prioritize. Also, if I'm sounding absolutely terrible, viewers, we've only just got back from the Grim Reaper's real-life Bournemouth meet, where we ended up clubbing and dancing and drinking until 3 a.m.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men.
And I'm too old for that now. Go on, Wrath Phantom.
Really gotta fix the performance here. I got like 3 frames a second.
Oof. Right, guys, let's have a look at the Argentinians. We have the Mirage 3s, played by Mirage 3s. Canberras, played by H6. If you don't know the Canberra, by the way, viewers, brilliant plane with a brilliant service history. Go look it up. Protected by some Mirages. a huge amount of A4s. Today played by A4Es. Performance will be about the same. Daggers today played by Mirage 3Cs with a pair of 1,000-pound bombs. While we've got time, why don't we have a look at the defence today? It is a rapier sight. It's Shorad, but I didn't want to put huge amounts of SAMs here because it's what I would call a quick bodge job at getting some units to the Falklands in a few days. So that's what they've done today. One squadron of Phantoms, a rapier, and some other bits. Speaking of Phantoms, look at that, 25,000 feet already. That's impressive. Let's go and have a look at my humanoids. Matrix Airborne. They've got time because the Argentinians are detected, obviously, a long way away. That's it. Now we sit and wait. Welcome back, viewers. Distance between fronts of 63 nautical miles. The Mirages are starting to posture. Oh, look at that go. I give you Mirage 3. There are some small visual bugs today, as you can see, viewers, pylons missing and stuff like that. It's just not important enough to worry about for today. Everything is tested and works. The vanguard of the RAF is Matrix, which is very pertinent. Here's a question, Matrix. Matrix, we just, like I said, had a real-life meetup. Matrix was there, and he brought his flight, what's it called, logbook? Flight book? With all your hours in.
That's correct.
I noticed that you were actually flying the Jaguar RAF fighter bomber in 1982. Were you ever worried or excited that you might get called up to fight in the Falklands?
I wasn't concerned that we'd actually get called up with no runways being available down there. But afterwards, once the runways had been established.
Yeah, it's a real stupid point I just made, viewers. You know that time when you say something you don't think, yeah, because we didn't have anywhere to operate from, apart from Ascension, about 5,000 miles away. So, scratch that point, Matrix. Distance between fronts, 36 nautical miles. The missiles today are 1970s missiles already. They're all pretty terrible. The best would be probably the AIM-9 Lima, that there, which was more or less brand new, I think. Right, the Daggers are 28 miles from the relatively badly defended EWRs. Strider's finally got his problems sorted. Dark's got his problems sorted and he's airborne. Welcome to the fight, gentlemen.
Jamming.
Huh, I'm not actually sure those hostiles had jammers. Yeah.
Well, my radar scope's covered in spaghetti.
You know what?
Sounds like a Matrix problem.
Certainly the Canberra would have had pajamas, I would imagine. Right, Matrix is 19 nautical miles away and a very angry Mirage. Trying to acquire a radar lock for his missile. 12 miles. If you don't get a radar lock, I would consider going back and waiting for your friends, Matrix.
The radar's not good.
Okay.
Too much jamming. I've got some contrails from the enemy.
Roger. Five miles. Stumped his tank. He did not fire. And that's a merge. All AI is set equal today, viewers. Equally as stupid and equally as good. Right, first AI merges. No missiles fired yet, amazingly. They all have the ability to do so. First missile fired, actually from the British. It's an AIM-7. First splash of a Mirage 3 and an AIM-9 Lima. And the Argies are now firing. What happened, Matrix? Really getting stuck into it now, guys.
Got him with a magic or an R530.
Roger. Oh, it was a 530.
Sorry, no, it's a magic one. It was a magic one.
Roger.
Sorry.
Yeah, lots of jammers going on today, viewers. So it looks like everyone's got radar problems, so everyone's having to move into ACM range.
I don't have air-to-air radar problems.
Yeah, you don't have an air-to-air radar, Simba. Submerge. Lots more British missiles fired for whatever reason. Probably because the Mirages are struggling to get their radar tracks. Also, they have to get behind a hostile to fire the missiles where the British can fire head on. Lots of stuff being fired. So far, losses. Okay, 1 Phantom lost, 5 Mirages lost, and I'm amazingly missing it every time. Good ovation, sir. Still a bit slow from the weekend viewers. 6 Mirages down. Where's all this killing gone? Look at this guy. He's fired almost all of his missiles. 7 Mirages down. Where is... Oh, bombs, bombs, bombs out from the daggers on southern EWR station. Boom. Smash. EWR station 1 down. Second one down as well. Right, EWR's 100% down. Amazing, only 1 Phantom down. Strider in a turn fight.
You can call this a turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the flying brick. Right, the daggers have now got intercepted by the Phantoms.
Oh, the southern daggers are going home.
Yeah, they will do. Once they bomb their target, they'll be off. Southern daggers, yep, once these guys are done, they've dropped their bombs, they've killed their target. They're not air-to-air equipped, they're just going to go. These ones, however, did not get out in time. They've run into the F4s. Jeez, 13 Mirages down. Phantom's just not getting shot down. However, a whole bunch of them are pretty much run out of missiles. Well done, Strider. Well cleaned up. Really good work so far, guys. Oh, shit, bombers. Don't forget about the bombers going for Stanley. Otherwise, well, we lose, basically. One guy's gone up there, but probably could do with some... No, it doesn't matter. A whole load of guys have gone up there. Really bad play from Mirage 3's viewers so far. I don't know why. The missiles really aren't that bad, but we have tested it, and they do work. Daggers just getting smashed to pieces now, but they did bomb the EWRs. Canberra's under attack. And the jammers are 100% fooling the missiles. God knows what that guy's doing. Canberra's going down. The jammer's not going to fool that. Smash. The Fox is in the hen house. Missiles going. They're all missing because of the jammers. Look. I spoke too soon. 2 Canberras down. 3 Canberras down. Oh, Jesus. Behind. Big 70-pound warhead or whatever it is on these. About 70 pound. Fully intercepted. Well done. The last of the squadron is up and fighting now. Oh, Jesus, the A4s have just got in. Okay, here we go. Three A4s down. They're all doing terribly badly at shooting the F4s down. Again, they've got to get behind the F4 to be able to shoot them with their missile. Dark in a turn fight with an A4. Double check all the bombers are down. They are. These guys are... Yep. They are not going to be bombing Port Stanley. Good evasion. Not good evasion.
I see 4 bombers still heading towards Stanley.
Yeah, I just had a look. They look very peppered. No, they're definitely not going to be doing any bombing. They're coming in on a mercy landing, I think.
What happened, Strider?
Crashed.
Oof.
Perfect shot, too.
30 hostiles down. Amazing killing, guys. Phantom gun kills coming in. Two F4s down. Rest of the squadron moving on now. Yeah, those bombers are no factor, Matrix, or you can, if you want an easy kill, you're welcome to go and get them.
I think they may be heading to Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
Nobody's heading to Mount Pleasant.
Red's just not firing their missiles today, guys. A4 has a gun, doesn't it? I'm sure it certainly does. 35 Argies down. Wowee. They're going to be very angry in the comments, guys. Simba's been spotted. Three Phantoms down. 38 Argies down. Where do Canberras get to? Yep, the Canberras are landing somewhere. Matrix is merged with Poosh. Simba's merged with AI. Whatever is going on down here. 41 aircraft down.
So those bombers not a threat anymore?
No, definitely not. They're not even going to target anymore. Simba in a weird turn fight. Matrix. Oh. Smash. 44 down. Well, this is not what really any of us were expecting, viewers.
Matrix got me.
Oh, well done, Matrix. Well defended. Simba's chasing his guy away now. Who has run out of fuel? Picking off the last of the Reds now, guys. Jesus Christ. That was horrendous. It's just Simba. It's just... You might as well take those bombers on now, Strider. Otherwise, it's just Simba.
It's like they're trying to land at two screen.
Oh, look at that. Huh. It's going to be an interesting landing, bearing in mind it's a 300-foot runway. Well, let's see what happens, viewers. I guess Canberra's got really good air brakes. No, they have not got good air brakes. That's going to hurt. Huh. Guys, guys, the airport selection was absolutely terrible. I've never seen the Argentinians fly so bad. We do loads of Argentinian stuff, viewers. Sometimes it's the Reds, sometimes it's the Blues. But man, they're doing bad. Oh, and Matrix and Simba are going to finale this S off. End it in style, guys. Oh, Jesus, you better hurry up, Simba. His buddies are coming.
Well, I mean, Matrix is doing F4 things.
He is, isn't he? He's got a lot more power than you.
It's not good for turning, though.
I know, but you did the right thing. You went high.
Yeah, my seeker head didn't lock on.
Hold on. Oh, Simba's out anyway. Oh, good dodge, Simba. Can't dodge for long, viewers. Really? Maybe he can. Maybe he can. Yeah, finally. All right, guys. Unlucky Reds. So that was not as I expected, or as I think any of us expected, viewers. As you probably noticed, we went very quiet there. So what I think we'll do is I'll go and have a look in the mission editor and make sure I set everything up right. I get the feeling I probably did. I get the feeling Archie's just did really bad. If it turns out I made a mistake, then we've still got time that I can fix it and rerun it. But otherwise, what you saw here was just the British just doing extremely well.
Were any Fox 2s fired by the Argies?
Yes, they did, but at terrible, terrible rates. I mean, 120 fired by one group, 4 fired by you lot. So it did fire, just really badly. Anyway, you can look at my screen, Simba, and just check I haven't made any errors. Right. Exit. Open. Usually when you get a result like this, viewers, it means something was set up wrong or something. But I have tested everything, and it all worked perfectly in single player. Right.
I was just wondering if maybe the Lua conflict, but you said if they fired them, they fired them. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah, we watched everything got fired. Anything that didn't get fired was the R530, but sometimes in testing it didn't. Right, I'm just going to pick some A4s at random, blah, 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 that guy there. Okay, A4, cap, check, ace, check. Nothing else touched, because touching stuff will just mess stuff up. Armed with 2 bad sidewinders and fuel tanks. That's it, guys. I'll choose one more just to make sure. Down here, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, some guy, cap, ace, nothing touched. They were set up right, it's just they just could not get in the correct aspect to fire the missile for whatever reason. You'll have to tell me why. Humanoids, you're allowed to have the attack view if you want, and you can study it at your heart's content. Mirages fired only 2 missiles between them. Why? Well, we've again tested them in testing, and yes, they did mainly lose to the Phantoms, but they worked. They had 3 magic ones and 1 R530, so everything was there for them to be used. Cap, A skill level, haven't messed anything around, so they should have worked. The bombers did their jobs and ran away, and the other bombers never made it to target. So that is the best I can do, guys. Why did the British win so well in that case? For some reason, the Argies really struggled to get aspect on the F4s. Think between yourselves, otherwise I'm just going to go and check out the F4 and make sure it does actually make heat. I'm sure it will do.
Yeah, on my first launch, none of my weapons would come off. Don't know why. Relaunched, it was all fine.
Fooling around with the AIM-9Bs yesterday, I had to get within 2 miles of an Aleutian before it would lock on.
Right, so it's also a range problem. I've just checked, and the F4 has 0.93 and 4.2, so it is nearly as hot as an F-15. They've modeled it, so it's making the heat, guys.
No, I mean, it did, because I totally got toned and fired on Matrix. I mean, it was it's going to be a high bending shot, but I at least got one off before I died.
Well, the Argentinians came in waves, so it looked like the Brits were dealing with one wave and then get done with that and then move on to the second one.
Yeah, the reason I did, what I've read about is that most of the planes couldn't actually make it over the sea and had to be refueled halfway. So you wouldn't actually be able to refuel everyone and then go in a perfect line. There would be some time between them, which is why I modelled a little bit of time between them, yeah. Really weird, viewers. You're going to have to help me work. Like I said, I've just shown everything worked properly and it worked in testing. Why did the F4 do so much better than the admittedly AI Argentinians? We usually don't see defeats like this, and it's weird. Let me know what you think of the realism in that. I don't know, did the AI just fly very badly? I don't know. That's it. Alternate history. Bye-bye.